Safaricom recently launched the Daraja version 3.0. And now this one is much better with a lot of APIs, not only the M-Pesa integration, but also other integrations such as SIM swap and tax remittance. So our focus today is going to be the dashboard, and we are actually going to learn how we can go live with the Daraja version 3.0. So to be able to do that, we need to go to our dashboard section. So here's our dashboard section. Not too much has changed. We still have the test credentials, the go live, and also we have the API section. So you can also go ahead and create your app. If you haven't already have one that is called Credit Circle, that's the one that you're going to be using to go live. But if you are to create a new one, it's as easy as just create a Sandbox app. Then you need to give it a meaningful name, as well as you need to check all these APIs. It's recommended that you check them all when you are going live, just to give you easy time when you want to add another API later on in your project. So that is it. So that is it for the interface. So in order to go live, you first need to create a Sandbox app, which I know most of you are now pretty comfortable with creating. And then the next thing is that you need to have an M-Pesa username and also the phone number that is linked to that paybill, because there are some verification codes that are going to be sent to the phone number. So you need to have the phone number or the email address that you use to register your paybill or till number. So that's all is needed for this one. So some of you did ask in the previous video that how can we access the M-Pesa username or paybill. So the M-Pesa username that you use to go live, it's not the Daraja username, it's the username that you created when you are signing up for the M-Pesa admin. So inside that form, there was a section where you're asked to enter your username. So that's the username that you should be using when you're going live. It's the business admin or the business manager. So you need to have that. If you don't, then the first thing that you need to do is to sign a form. There's a form that I'm going to put in the link in the description, where you can just download the form, fill it, handwritten, not digitally. You need to print it, fill it using a pen, sign it, and then you send it back to M-Pesa Business. Again, I'm going to link that email into the description, so you can apply for the M-Pesa admin, get your credentials ready, and then now you can proceed with the login. So that is it. So once you've received your username and password, you first need to go to the M-Pesa organization portal, and then you need to reset your password and username that you are sent by Safaricom. So this is the portal. It was also revamped recently, so its interface looks kind of different if you notice. So this is the organization portal where you'll test the username and password that you will be sent by Safaricom after creation of the M-Pesa admin. So go ahead and create it if you haven't. But for those of you who already have their username and password ready, we can now go ahead and go live with Daraja version 3.0. Most of the things are still pretty much the same. There's no big change. The only difference is that we are using an all-in-one paybill, which means a paybill that can support both collection and also disbursement of funds. So that is it. So to be able to go live, okay, I'm logged out here, so I have to log back in. Okay, so I've logged back into my account. So the first thing that you need to do is to set the verification type. You can set it to shortcode or pinless dealer, but for most of the time it's going to be the shortcode, because that is the pay bill or the till number that you do have. So I'm going to go ahead and key in my shortcode. And then now the organization name, this is the organization that you do on the business name. So some of you do have registered businesses, while I know some of the people do not have registered businesses, which means they use their ID numbers. So for this one, it's going to be your name. But if you do have a business, enter your business name here, just the exact name of your business. And then here we go, we need the M-Pesa username. So this needs to be the username that you created when you are signing up for the M-Pesa admin form. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my username. Okay, once you're done, just accept the terms and conditions, then click next. Okay, so once you're here, you will be prompted to enter your verification code. So there's an OTP that's going to be sent. I already have mine here, so let's go ahead and key it in. Then we can move to the next step. Then once again, this is now for production. You again need to enter all the apps. So it's recommended that you just click all the checkboxes because you might need one of these APIs later in your project. So it doesn't cost anything to click on the checkbox. And then you need to submit once you have clicked all the checkbox. So I'm just going to hit submit. Alright, so you will receive a success message that you have successfully applied for a production developer app. Please check your email for production URLs. And that is how you go live with M-Pesa. From Sandbox to production has never been easier. So all you need to do is now to check for your emails for the credentials that you will be sent. And ladies and gents, that is how we go live with Daraja version 3.0. So I'm just going to go ahead and say view apps. And if I go to production, I'll be able to see the newly created production app. You can see all the consumer key and consumer key secrets. Always keep them secret, don't share them. This is much more sensitive as compared to the Sandbox application. Then you need to check your email address for the keys that have been sent. So if I go back to my email address, I should be able to receive the keys that have been sent here. So yeah, you can see that Safaricom has sent me some keys here and a congratulations message for going live for my app with the Daraja version 3.0. So yeah, once you have your production keys, then you are good to go. You can go ahead and set them in your application and continue with the build. So that is it. That is our tutorial today on how to go live with M-Pesa version 3.0. So if you have any questions or comments, please remember to leave them in the comment section. Also, if you find value in this video, consider supporting the channel using 3 ways. The first one is that you can give the video a like. You can share the video with other like-minded developer or person. And then lastly, you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And that is going to do it for our today's video on how to go live with Daraja version 3.0. And let's catch up in the next one.